Okay, I get it. At first, I thought air fryers were just tiny, overpriced ovens. And honestly, that's kind of true, but there's also a reason that I use mine all the time. Like every day, all the time. Stick around because today we're diving into air fryers. Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Now, whether or not you are a newbie to air fryers or you've been chucking frozen French fries in there for years, I have got some seriously delicious recipes for you today. In fact, there are so many things that I use this for, I don't think I can pack them all into one video. So if you enjoy this video and you want me to come back with like a really deep dive in the air fryer with all of my plant-based hacks, let me know in the comments down below because I might start working on that right away. That said, today is going to give you an excellent primer because I'm going to walk you through an entire day's worth of eating of some of our go-to recipes. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a dessert. And yes, all of these recipes and more can be found in our wonderful cookbook that you can get the ebook version of by using the QR code that is on the screen right now. And we did just get in a new shipment of these hard copies. So if you want an autographed copy, hit me up at the email address right here and I'll let you know how to get one for yourself. Whether you're getting it from scratch, you don't have the ebook, or you're upgrading, we'll hook you up. And stick around until later on in this video because I'm going to tell you all about the air fryer we are currently using, the Typhur Dome air fryer, and how you can get an awesome discount from the company, but also how you can get one for free. Now, for those that are super new to air fryers, you might be wondering, well, how do these things work and why are they so awesome? So quick science lesson here. How air fryers work is they blast hot air all around your food. And they do it at lightning speed, which is what can give you that ridiculously awesome crispy texture without using a drop of oil. Basically, it's like a turbocharged convection oven, but because it's smaller, it cooks faster and more evenly. So why would you use an air fryer instead of an oven? Well, first of all, it's not going to heat up your entire kitchen, especially during the warmer months. It preheats in just a few minutes, if not seconds, and it cooks things up to 30 to 50% faster. The texture is just amazing. You get a wonderful crisp on the outside while things are still soft and delicious on the inside. And compared to most ovens, it's also more energy efficient. Now, before I get into the recipes, I'd like to give a quick hello to some of you who said hello to us in the comments down below. Lori from Simi Valley, California. Patricia from Plymouth, Michigan. Hannah from Buckinghamshire, United Kingdom. Lauren from the beautiful New Jersey. Jeff and Liz from Bend, Oregon. Judy from Coconut Creek, Florida. Susie from Winfield, Pennsylvania. Tina from Las Vegas. Carolyn from Calhoun, Georgia. Lorna from Horse Camp, Australia. Vicky from Iowa. Dorothy from Oklahoma. And Sarah from the Mighty Network. What's the Mighty Network, you might ask? Well, it's a group of like-minded individuals where we don't yuck anyone else's yum. It's like PB with J 2.0. You get advanced viewings of these videos, you get a bump up on our shout-out list, and a lot of other wonderful perks that you can get for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. Now, let's get to the recipes. One of my all-time favorite breakfasts, especially during the winter months, is this thing that I call Oat Bake, or baked oats. I think you've probably seen other people make something like this. It's essentially if you took oatmeal and blended it up and then mixed it with fruit and stuff and then baked it, that's what you'd get. So it's like a spin on your regular oatmeal. And I really, really like it. And it's perfect for an air fryer. I'll be honest, when we got our first version of the Typhur Dome, I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to make it because it doesn't have as much height as other air fryers. But if you have wide-based bowls, then it works just fine. This recipe is in our cookbook. It's also on our website, I believe. I'll put the QR code right here on the screen for the book, but you can also get it at our website and the link in the description down below. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a half a cup of rolled oats, half a cup of unsweet almond milk, a tablespoon of flax seeds. I'm having this right before I do a workout, so I'm going to put in a scoop of protein powder. You can avoid that if you want to. Some cinnamon or whatever other spices you want. I even put some vanilla in here as well as a ripe banana and just blend that all up. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 servings of fruit, whatever you want. I've got some frozen berries here and an apple. that I sliced up or just really ripped apart with my hands. We're gonna pour that over top, add some dried fruit and some nuts. Mix that up, and then we're gonna bake that in the air fryer for 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. This is perfect to do before a walk or a workout, because while you are doing something else, your breakfast is cooking. And even now it's been sitting for a while, so it's still really, really warm. And part of the fun, my favorite part of an oat bake is just that first spoonful out, because it's still a little gooey inside, and that's kind of what you want. Like a little molten lava cake. To me, this is like the epitome of comfort food for breakfast. Swap out the fruit to whatever fruit you want. Nuts and seeds and dried fruit. I put some hemp seeds on top of this as well before I baked it. You want to use different seasonings, you want to use cocoa powder in here. Go for it. It's a really awesome, simple breakfast that I love, and is perfectly made in an air fryer.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
When I asked Typhur what one of the differences was between their last dome air fryer and this one, is they said it gave their pizzas a more even cook. And so I thought I would put that to the test. Last night I made some fresh dough, which I have made before on the channel, so I will link the recipe here in the description down below. I'll also put it up on the screen with a little bit of B-roll to show you how we make that. It's really, really, really simple. All you need is yeast and water and flour, a little bit of salt and thyme. Not thyme like the ingredient thyme, just like, physical thyme, because you gotta wait for it to rise and stuff. I'm just gonna roll this out. And this is mostly a whole food plant-based pizza. I'm putting on tomato sauce. The only thing that's not whole food plant-based is I'm using some like Yves deli meat here just to amp up a little bit of flavor and protein. I don't have any of our homemade deli meat right now, so I could also just not put it on here. I could just put some tofu on here, but I didn't. This is what I did today. But I have made those things in the past. We have a whole video actually of me making a whole food plant-based pizza from scratch. So I will link that as well right here. The cheese I'm using is actually our cheese sauce recipe that I've just frozen, and then I'm grating it. The pizza setting has it cooking at 385 or 340 actually for 14 minutes. So there's a hot tip for you. There is a preheat part of making the pizza, which makes sense. You preheat an oven. So I should have turned that on while I was making the pizza so it would be ready now. But it takes a few minutes to preheat, which is fine. While you're making your pizza, put it on the preheat. So I guess I'll clean up and I'll make myself a tea. This is eerily quiet. Like it's quiet to the point where I'm not sure it's on, but the number keeps counting down. I will say that the difference between the last model and this one is definitely, it's so much quieter, especially on this pizza setting. I'm so curious how this is gonna be. So eagle-eyed viewers might notice that I added some olives to this. That's because I have a legal clause in our wedding vows, which I'll put the wording right here, where if I don't put olives on pizza, Wooly can divorce me and take everything. So, gotta do it. I like that this bubbled. Wow, this, I'm shocked. Let's look at the bottom. It looks cooked through. Wow, this is gonna be a game changer for just making a quick like pizza lunch. And that's the one thing that's really unique about the Typhur Dome too, is it's just so wide base. You don't get that in a lot of air fryers. So you can cook like something like a pizza without having to warm up your entire kitchen. Wow. I'd say cooking-wise, it's the same as what I did in the oven last night. And it's not that that saved me any time doing it in there. I mean, the challenge is it is single serving. So if you only need to make one pizza, why wouldn't you do it in the air fryer as opposed to the oven? You know what I'm saying? Uses less energy. It gives a little crisp to the meaty parts. Wow. Really, really awesome. So whatever you did on your tweaks from the last version to this version for the pizza, it sure did work. Let's just take a very quick break from the recipes because I want to tell you not only more about this Typhur Dome air fryer, but also how you can win one. So for those who've been watching the channel for a while, you know we've been using this air fryer for a little over a year when Typhur sent us the first version of this. And this is version 2.0. And at first, I looked at it and I'm like, well, it looks exactly the same as the other one. It's a little lighter. It's actually 2.5 pounds lighter. And it's a little bit taller, so I thought that meant a deeper basket. But the reason why it's taller is because it's got more airflow underneath the bottom of it, but it's also got a dual burner at the bottom in addition to the one that was already there on the top. So what that means is it just cooks more efficiently, it adds to the crisp level. They said that it's the thing that's made the pizzas, which we just made and you just saw, way, I was trying to find for a good word, just better. They're just better. They're crispier. They're still fluffy in the inside. Honestly, it's probably the best texture of a pizza I've had homemade. And I thought the Typhur Dome air fryer version 1 was quiet. I swear I wasn't even entirely sure this thing was on when that pizza was cooking. Now, the fine folks at Typhur are offering you a 10% off discount when you use code PBJeremy right here. It's in the link in the description down below. But even better, they have given me an extra one of these units that they want to ship to one of you.
Hi everyone, my name's Tina, and I'm the first winner of the Typhur Dome air fryer giveaway that Jeremy did many months ago. I love this air fryer. It is absolutely amazing. We use it every single day for many different things. I've literally cooked a pizza in here. The amount of surface space that you have is unbelievable. You can take this out and it cleans really easy, and no, you don't have to clean it after every use. So, I hear there's a new, possibly, giveaway coming up, so make sure you're paying attention, and good luck to everyone.
So if you want to win that, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to use hashtag Typhur, and if you don't use that hashtag, I might miss it, so that's really, really important. And what I want you to do in the comments down below is I want you to let me know what is the most unexpected thing that you have cooked or want to cook in an oven or an air fryer. Real and funny answers are allowed. Now, get that in between now and Sunday, which is March 16th, because we're going to be doing a live draw on our live cook-along the following day, Monday the 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't miss out on your chance to win one of these things. It's only going to be up, this contest, for a few days. So if you're getting to this video late, I apologize. Keep watching the videos. We do giveaways as often as sponsors give us things to give away. All right, back to the recipes. So for dinner, I'm gonna make what is one of easily our most requested and favorite dinners in this house, and that is our tofu nuggets. This is a super simple recipe. It does take a beat to put together just because you have to do the same thing over and over again to make it, but I highly recommend getting the family involved, especially if you got little kids. This is really fun for them. And if you're used to breading things, like anything from your omnivore days, then you know what to do. So basically, we're going to make a buttermilk using just whatever plant milk you got on hand and add just a little bit of apple cider vinegar to it, like a tablespoon to a cup of plant milk will work. And then get just a bowl full of whatever flour you want to use. I'm using brown rice flour here, but you can use whole wheat flour, oat flour, it doesn't really matter. Next, we're gonna put together our breading mixture. So normally what I would do is I would take some cereal, like a Chex Mix, get whatever cereal you want and put it into like a little blender or a hand blender. Or if you've got breadcrumbs, that's great too. I've got these plant-based, gluten-free breadcrumbs that I'm gonna use to save myself some time. And then we just mix that together with all of these spices. And if you want to change out the spices, go for it. You want to add more of one, take out another one, switch something else in, make this your own. What's really, really great is that this makes a ton, makes more than you need, because you just need room to move the tofu pieces around inside of it. But you can store this in an airtight container and use it for your next meal. And if you want, instead of breaking the tofu up into little pieces like I'm doing here, you can just cut it into slabs and make this more like a faux chicken sandwich if you wanted to, and make it that as opposed to just nuggets. Now you can just slice this up into squares or rectangles if you want to. I really like to rip it into chunks like this because it gives it more like a nugget texture to me. I like the little ripples on the inside, not the clean cuts. I just find that gives it more texture, and those things tend to crisp up a little bit more. Make it whatever size you want. You want it really small, break it up a little small. You want it really big, break them up into big chunks. So the process here is just dipping into the flour first to get a little coating on it so that the plant milk will stick to it and create like a gummy texture. And then once you've got the milk on it, you can put it into your breading mixture. And what I like to do is grab like a handful of that, put the piece in, and then put it on top, and then just shake it around. It's as simple as that. Some people like to do 2 coatings of the flour to milk, and you can. It makes it a little crispier, I guess, but I just like this. If you can get into a good rhythm where you keep one hand dry and use one hand for going in and out of the milk, you won't have to get these gummy, ugly fingers that you have to clean once or twice in the middle. So try to create some kind of a rhythm, or if you have more than one person can just do the wet, one person does the dry. And we're just gonna serve this with some French fries. Unfortunately, even though this is a really wide, big air fryer basket, there's not enough room to put the tofu nuggets and the fries at the same time. Although if I squish them together, you might get a couple in there. So we're just cooking those in the oven. But normally we would cook French fries in the air fryer too. So these came out perfect and golden. I will say that I cooked these less than the time in our cookbook states, just because this air fryer cooks things like 30% faster. So I cooked them for closer to like probably 16, 17 minutes than the 20. Get ready for the crunch. No oil. Mmm. Put a little sauce with that. That's good eating right there.
What kind of sauce did you make?
Mustard.
Huh? That's a sauce?
No, I prepared it. I put it inside of a bottle in the fridge with an expiration date.
I feel like I'm getting the short end of the stick on this dinner.
Yep.
No sauce.
No other sauce. We have the buffalo sauce that we made a couple weeks ago. Might still be okay. Probably not. Probably not.
So we're making an air fryer cookie. Oh, that's like close. Okay, it's yummy and has chocolate chips in it, and it's pretty quick to make.
Yeah.
And it's big for Friday night when you're tired. You're done with the long week.
It's our air fryer cookie for 2. Or 1 if you're really hungry. So how do we make it?
We use half a cup of flour. I use oat flour, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And you mix that together. And then in one small bowl, and in the second small bowl, you mix your sugar, which for us, I actually am using date powder, a tablespoon of date powder, and then a tablespoon of maple syrup. And then you mix that with 2 tablespoons of aquafaba and 2 tablespoons of tahini or another nut butter. And some vanilla, like a teaspoon of vanilla. You stir it all together. And then you mix the wet and the dry. And then it's looking really good, but it's not done because you gotta add the chocolate chips. And then you take the dough, not with your hands because it's very sticky. It tends to be quite sticky if you're doing oat flour or like gluten-free version. Is definitely stickier than if you use like a whole wheat flour, I would say. And we put it on a small piece of parchment, plop it on there, flatten it out with a spatula or damp hands or something. That's because it's sticky, as I mentioned. And then you bake it for like 8 to 10 minutes in the air fryer at 350 or 350, whatever the air fryer comes on at, really is what I bake it at.
Okay, and if you don't have aquafaba, what could people use?
Oh, applesauce. 2 tablespoons of applesauce.
What about like a flax egg?
Sure, try it. I think it's pretty flexible. Like, I feel like it kind of turns out a little different every time, and it's always edible and delicious. It just is different. So if you're okay with being flexible, then, you know, be flexible.
And if you want to cut out the chocolate chips, you could put in dried fruit or nuts.
Yes.
Hey, look, the sink's back.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in it, really.
But
It's a versatile cookie.
But you judge them if they don't put chocolate in?
Yeah, I do a little bit. But, you know, you do you. You do you, people.
Thanks for joining me as I did a day of eating with our air fryer. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do a part 2 to this video, because I have got so many different hacks and ways that I use an air fryer that I would just love to share with all of you. Don't forget to use our discount code PBJeremy to get 10% off of the Dome air fryer. Or if you want to try to win one, you can do what I said earlier in the video. Just scroll back and watch that part again. Hit that like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people. Subscribe for more videos like this. And since you're still hanging around, YouTube wants you to watch this video next. They got it all queued up for you. It's there to bring you to your happy place of plant-based goodness.